Well, one criticism of that was given on polling day and has been talked about afterwards in terms of this allegation of fraud is that, well, if there were so many ballot papers left over, why did some stations end up not having enough and running out halfway through the day?
In fact, based on certain reports, it was claimed that some polling stations do not have sufficient number of ballot papers. We looked into such cases and we came to the conclusion that the claims were not true. Only in 2 districts, due to the massive turnout by the people, there was a delay, 20-minute and 40-minute delay in the voting process. With the exception of these 2 cases, there has been no other reports of lack of ballot papers. And in fact, our investigation after the election day, we came to the conclusion that the claims were not true.
Taking everything you're saying into context, then, why is it that this election has had this reaction in terms of all the allegations that have been made, all the media coverage? What's so different?
Well, this is a question that must be posed to those who have created such ambiguities. But I think that what led to such events was that some of the distinguished candidates did not pay close attention to the relevant rules and regulations. In fact, what was raised was that prior to the election day, there has been some events that may change the trend, the electoral trend. In fact, it's not something related to an act of fraud with respect to the elections. It's the political atmosphere in the country and in the society that in the course of the debate, one of the parties attending the debate may speak in such a way that may just bring about more supporters for that particular individual or party at the debate. In fact, based on what we receive from the candidates, the most of the complaints are in connection with such points. They have not made any claim about any irregularities or fraud with respect to the electoral process, and they have mentioned themselves that there was nothing wrong with the ballot boxes, but the atmosphere prevailing but they were just complaining about the atmosphere prior to the election, and such an atmosphere prior to the election has nothing to do with the performance of the Guardians Council. So these are not the points to be addressed by the Guardians Council, and for such, we cannot call for the annulment of the elections based on such claims.
Well, those issues something we will be discussing here over the next 7 days on Press TV. Do stay with us. But for you, a final question. It's been extended for 5 days now, your investigations. You said that it's almost done. What is it that you are currently actually investigating then, and when can we expect an announcement?
What we have done so far, we have looked into all the complaints and objections made by the candidates. We have looked into all these complaints, and we will later release the report in this connection. We will actually shed light on the complaints made by the candidates, and we are getting closer to the end of this process. But in order to build further trust and confidence, we have requested the 5-day extension. And this may be a new piece of news that I'm telling you right now, that we will try to actually have some of the influential individuals. We'll try to contact some influential individuals and request them to provide any evidence, document any evidence, or put forth any questions, so that we'll be able to look into all of them within this 5-day period, and hopefully we'll manage to announce the results till the next few days.
By influential individuals, do you mean the candidates that were running? Yeah, you said that you're going to, if I understood correctly, you're going to contact some influential individuals in this and discuss it further. Will that include the candidates?
Well, in fact, the candidates, we can actually invite the candidates again, and in fact, the candidates must voice their willingness, and in fact, if they are willing, they can put forth new issues at the Guardians Council, and we will invite other parties to also put forth new questions, and if they have new cases to be raised, we will look into them and inform the public opinion.
Just one final question. We have about 30 seconds, but it will be within the next 5 days that we will get this result, will it?
Hopefully, God willing.
Thank you very much. That's Guardian Council spokesman there, Dr. Abbas Ali Kadkhodai, joining us here in the studio in Tehran. And as we said at the beginning of the programme, the first edition of 7 here every night at 18:30 GMT. Join us for this special coverage where we'll be taking a reality look at everything that's happening inside Iran, whether it be with officials such as tonight, voters, analysts, people out on the streets in the capital, Tehran. Do stay with us here on Press TV, both in the international news and this special coverage for at least the next week.